My heart sank when I approached Cumulus Inc. and saw the Saturday evening crowds waiting for tables spilling onto the street. Would there still be a solo diner spot for me at the bar, as predicted in the afternoon? There was. The lady from the lunch service was there again and recognized me. I sat in an area at the front bar for about 5 minutes until a space at the bar by the open kitchen was cleared for me, and ordered a glass of Hawker's Pale Ale in the meantime. Once I was officially seated, I looked at the menu to dispel the last of my worries about getting a place, which then quickly vanished. To tide me over until my orders arrived, I was brought 2 slices of delicious bread with a generous round of very good butter. I also noted with appreciation the playful bread-serving container. As at lunch, I decided to kick things off with 2 small starter plates. The first of these was 10 spears of baby asparagus with brown butter. It seemed strange to me to be eating asparagus in September, but that is of course springtime in Australia. Once I tasted the asparagus, their unmistakable freshness was immediately apparent. And as for that brown butter, I wondered if there was any way to smuggle a large tub of that out of the country in my suitcase. Items tended to be underdescribed on the menu, which listed the next small plate only as baby octopus with oregano and orange. Indeed, but what that creamy puree was underneath the octopus I failed to write down, and my memory draws an embarrassing blank now. An enhanced potato puree, possibly? Some sort of humus? And I also forgot to inquire as to what the green emulsion was. I have not forgotten how grateful I was that I had got a seat and was eating such good food. By this time I was drinking a glass of Vinea Marson Grazia from Heathcote in central Victoria, a very toothsome cuvée of Pinot Bianco, Malvasia d'Istria, Friulano, and Picolite, an unmistakably Friulian blend of northeast Italian varieties. Once again, I opted to go for in-between dishes rather than a huge main by myself. The person taking my orders thought I could manage 2 of these, with one of them being prepared in a smaller portion, and then still enjoy a dessert afterwards. I trust waiters, particularly those as knowledgeable and professional and as unflappable under stress as the ones at Cumulus, so I selected 2 dishes under the heading Salads and Comestibles. The smaller portion of these 2 was the mixture of duck hearts, broad beans, and Pedro Jimenez sherry vinegar. As I said before, plate descriptions were on the terse side. I can't tell you what the edible blossoms were, although my guess would have been hibiscus, nor what the wonderful croquant was, nor that liquid at the bottom, although I used my last morsels of bread to mop up every last drop of it. I adore duck innards, but I had never had duck hearts before. I have never seen them at any market in Vienna. This dish alone would have made my evening. The other plate may appear a tiny bit less photogenic, but it did not take a back seat. What do we have here? The menu introduced it as a salad of black barley and farro, with hibiscus and za'atar. And I'm sure you've spied the occasional almond in the mix, plus another item or 2 not mentioned on the menu, even if I suspect the hibiscus got moved to the duck hearts. I love nuts and grains, so this salad was heaven for me, and it was a demonstration of chewy texture virtuosity as well. Time to move on to a red wine, a 2015 Pinot Noir from Eminence Wines in King Valley called Le Péché Mignon, which I shall translate here as guilty pleasure. Certainly one I would be happy to indulge in more often. One pleasure leads to another, so it was time to select a dessert. I had been sitting right by the dessert station, so while I'd been eating I'd watched the assembly several times of what my choice fell on. Organic soft chocolate, smoked almonds, and wattle seed ice cream. What are wattle seeds? I had to ask. They're the seed of any number of indigenous acacia trees, which I'm guessing were ground very fine before being incorporated into this ice cream. No chance of my ever coming across this in Europe, alas. So I savored every spoonful. The soft chocolate and smoked almonds weren't bad either. To my surprise, the restaurant was suddenly emptying very fast, even though it was well before midnight. I decided I still needed a glass of Poire William, this particular eau de vie coming from Brana in the Pyrenees, the French ones, not the Australian ones, some 50 kilometers southeast of Biarritz. It was the right choice to end a spectacular dinner and warm me up for a nice long walk back to my hotel.